Is on set to review the movies that came out this week. Coming out in France, American Hustle by David Russell. It rhymes. A movie that already won 3 Golden Globes and is a frontrunner in most Oscars categories. How do you explain such a success?
He's becoming a real pro at this. Actually, the actors from his last 2 movies already won Oscars. Christian Bale won an Oscar for The Fighter, and you might remember last year Jennifer Lawrence won her Oscar for Silver. You don't. For Silver Lining Playbook. So really, I think, his big secret is to always work with the same actors that he knows really well. But let's watch a piece of the trailer and get a better idea.
Did you ever have to find a way to survive? And you knew your choices were bad, but you had to survive.
We were so successful for so long because we kept it just small enough.
If you're that successful, how come you wound up in this room with me right now?
This is Agent DeMasso placing $75,000 into this briefcase for Mayor Carmine Polito.
We gotta get over on all these guys. That's what we need to be thinking about right now.
Yeah, so do you think that this time around, there's any chance that Christian Bale or Amy Adams might win Best Actor?
Maybe. I thought Amy Adams wasn't that convincing this time around, and Jennifer Lawrence was really great, but Christian Bale, I think, has a really good chance. As he really went under a physical transformation, he gained about 40 pounds and became really ugly. And you know that Hollywood really loves it when actors do that. So I think he has a pretty good chance of winning this time for Best Actor. But let's watch the actor tell us more about how he works with David O. Russell.
With David's sets, they're very raw and very spontaneous, and so you better know your stuff because, hey, he won't shout cut. He'll just keep rolling, and what was half a page, you're now doing a 7-minute scene, and so you best know your stuff, about it. And I enjoy that. I enjoy that a great deal, and there's a lot of improvisation, therefore, that comes up, and it's a wonderful script as it is. It didn't need it, but all these happy accidents really help to add to the spontaneity and the reality of a piece.
Now, the movie's been praised for its aesthetic, its visual style, but there have been some complaints that the movie was too long. Do you think it's a good screenplay?
I did think the movie was a little too long, and the screenplay is quite light. You follow 2 con artists who are actually caught by an FBI agent who's then going to force them into getting these politicians arrested. But I think really the strength of the movie is the obvious Scorsese influence, the 70s style, the hairdo as we've seen. And also what I really loved about the film is the humor. I really appreciated that, and it's quite rare. So, I think that maybe it lacks the depth to win Best Film, but it's definitely an entertaining movie.
All right, we'll hold you to account on your predictions, although actually you didn't take too much of a risk there. Let's move on to The Book Thief, another film, this one by British director Brian Percival. It's a film adaptation of Marcus Zuzak bestseller, The Story of a Young Girl Who Learns How to Read in Nazi Germany. Let's take a look.
My name is Liesl Memminger. I don't have a family, or even a place to call home. I never understood the meaning of the word hope, but I'm about to meet the people who would change all that.
Come, meet your new parents.
Your first book. Are you sure this is yours?
It wasn't always mine.
Can't you even read yet? Go on, read 1 word.
I'm not such a good reader myself, We will have to help each other out.
Now, this one is billed as an emotional, potentially hard-hitting story. Is it really moving?
At first, I was a little bit turned off by the fact that all these Anglophone great actors are having this weird German accent. But then I got more into the movie, and I think it's really interesting to have this young girl who learns how to read and at the same time who's starting to understand, the ideology that's happening in Germany at the time, thanks to a Jewish boy that they're hiding in their house, Max. So actually, at first it was more of an adult children's book, like an older children's book. So I think maybe it's more a movie that would be great for adolescents or young adults.
Apparently, casting was a huge part of the effort that went into making this movie, and producers looked all over the world for the little girl who would play Liesl. Is that how you say it, Liesl?
Liesl, yeah. Well, yes, they found Sophie Nélis actually in Canada. She's wonderful, and I think she's definitely a rising star. And you might have seen her in a movie 2 years ago, a Canadian movie called Monsieur Lazare, when she was already playing a young schoolgirl learning how to read. But this time she had a really thick Canadian French accent.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Iris Brey, with the review of this week's movies. Excuse me, I believe we have one left. A restored version of the 1964 film Lilith by Robert Rossen is coming out on DVD with wonderful actors Warren Beatty and Gene Seberg.
Yes, that's an amazing love story. It starts with a mysterious man who comes to work in this private mental institution, and he meets Lilith, played by Gene Seberg. So as you can tell by the mythology behind the name, she's a very seductive woman. And the cinematography is just absolutely amazing. It's really a really strong movie with great actors, and it's really a classic worth seeing.
Iris Brey, thank you very much. And
Why did you come here?
I needed a job.
You could get a job in a butcher shop, grocery store, gas station. You were in the army. Were you a hero? I didn't think so.
all right, a classic worth seeing. Thank you very much. That was Lilith and the end of the movie review right here on France 24 with Iris Brey. Thanks a lot for joining us on set. And now let's turn to the sports news with the latest roundup and the French league.